Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another video. This is part of the series of videos that I'm doing trying to hype up some competitions at Revision. Revision is happening again physically in person 7th to 10th of April in Saarbrücken, Germany. Biggest pure demo scene party event that there is in the world, and I'm going and I'm very excited to go there. This video in particular is to talk about live shader coding that typically happens at Revision. So quick recap on history. Quite a few years back, at a weekend demo party happening in Poland, they decided to have this live coding matchup of different rounds where you would start coding an effect and then you could keep on coding the same effect on the next round. People would vote which one was the best person, and ProVod won that competition. And the format kind of appealed to some people, so they decided to organize it on a few other demo parties. Revision was one of those early adopters. Solskogen was the other one, if I'm not mistaken. And they used a tool called Bonzomatic for this. And Bonzomatic is a tribute to Bonsai Plastic, which made the original setup for live coding at WeCan. And the guy remade the tool, called it Bonzomatic, and it's just two triangles on the screen, and you can code the fragment shader that goes on those two triangles. You can see the code right there. You can see the results of the code right there. You have a few textures that you can access, and the format evolved a little bit throughout the years, but it's pretty much this: 25 minutes. You have to code from scratch a single effect, live coding, and then at the end of those 25 minutes, hands off the keyboard, and the people vote for what is the best effect. This is the basis of the Shader Showdown, or what became Shader Showdown. On the first year of existence at Revision, it actually was called the Incredible Live Coder Mayhem 5000. You can see here. And it was still using this Scintilla GL version of Bonzomatic. Bonzomatic didn't exist per se. And you can see here a few people participated. Scomp won over Crypt, Kabuto won over Blueberry, Musk won over Miku, Musk won over Kabuto on the semifinals, Scomp won over Extrium, and then the first winner of the first Revision Shader Showdown battle, that was still called the Incredible something something Coder Mayhem 5000, was Musk. Congratulations, Musk. So this was the kickoff, and from this first year, 2014, every single year Revision had this format of live shader coding things. During the years of pandemic, things changed a little bit. The format got diversified into a few other forms, and this is what we're going to have at this year. So I'm going to talk about that in the rules. That's why I give this long-winded intro. So this year at Revision, we will have 3 different things that you can participate. Excuse me. The Shader Showdown, as I mentioned, 25 minutes, coding head-to-head with another person also coding for 25 minutes. No help, no copy-paste, code everything from scratch on the fragment shader using Bonzomatic. This year, the change will be that we'll do it 3-way. If we can get 9 participants to take part on this, instead of being just 1 versus 1, you will have 3 people at the same time, and the winner is the one who moves on to the final. The final will also supposedly be 3-way, depending on how many people participate, but I think we will be able to get 9 people to participate. The other event that is happening is a TIC80 jam session. So at Lovebite and Outline and Field Effects, there have been use of this TIC80 fantasy console thing to recreate the shader coding format, but into a byte coding format. Where you code in Lua. Actually, it's not directly byte coding, but you code in Lua and you have lower resolution, you have a different way of doing things, so it's not the same ray marching or ray casting techniques that you usually do on shader coding. It's more filling up the buffer with things, with elements, with lines, with squares, with circles, things like that. It's kind of different twist on it, and it became quite popular. It's a lot more approachable to newcomers because they don't have to learn this different way of thinking of doing graphical coding, that is shader coding. It's not as powerful as shader coding, but it has some very interesting things as well. So we're gonna put that in revision this year as well, and we'll have an open jam session during 1 hour. We'll have 3 seats on the main stage, and whoever wants to go there can code as the DJ is playing some tracks. And whenever you're bored or don't have any ideas, some other people can take over your seat, and we'll just keep at it for 1 hour for people to see what they can do. So if you're interested in participating in any of these 2 things, you need to be physically present at the party. Just get in touch with me. I'm actually the main organizer of this year. If you want to participate on Shader Showdown, the elimination rounds is on Friday night at 10 p.m. German time, and then the final will be the next day around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I believe, for the Shader Showdown. The TIC 80 jam session is around 1 p.m. on Saturday. And then we'll have another thing that's going to happen, which is the Shader Royale VJ session. So on Saturday night, between 2 compos, DJ Hoffman will play a set, 60 to 90 minutes, supposedly, and we were missing some visuals for that, and I submitted a petition to use the Shader Royale Jam format as visualizations for that. So during the pandemic, we had to use a networked version of Bonsomatic, and people could code from all over the places in the world. We started organizing these events that had, 12 people, 20 people. I think the maximum we had was 24, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 28. And we just have a massive number of people live coding live, so they're remote, but they're sending their code live. The machine is recompiling the shader on the local machine, and we will see a mosaic of all the different shaders that people are coding, and we will also do like a rotating screen showing like 10 seconds of each one. And since it's most of the people do their shaders synced to the music, they have some FFT analysis going there on the buffer. You will see it will hopefully be an entertaining VJ set to Hoffman's banger DJ set. So that is open for remote participation. If you're at the party place, you can also participate. You just need to have your own laptop. You won't have machines on stage accessible for you to use, but you can still use your laptop and connect. Just hit me up on Discord or send me an email, and I'll add you to my Discord channel where we organize the stuff. And yeah, just be present and code for about an hour. You don't need to code the whole way through. We'll use whatever final version of the shader you have. You can copy paste some old material if you want. If you don't like the boilerplate having to memorize all that stuff, you can copy paste some stuff. It's completely open. There's no awards involved, so it's a much more carefree thing than the shader showdown itself, which is a lot more intense. So yeah, these are the 3 things that are happening and still open to user participation. There are a few other DJ events, live sets that will have some people live coding some stuff, but that's already closed, and that will be announced as part of the live set stuff. So let's talk about shader showdowns that happened in the past. We already talked about the first year, 2014, where they had not the shader showdown, they had the incredible live coder Mayhem 5000. And then the next year, in 2015, they organized the Shader Showdown, as its proper name, called Shader Showdown. Musk won one of the quarterfinals, Abor won another one, Anat won over LJ, which was a relatively newcomer back then, but became a legend in Shader live coding soon after this. Kabuto won over WS Mind. Musk ended up winning the semifinals, and then we went up against Kabuto in the final, and Musk for the 2nd year in a row. Didn't he win the other one as well? Yeah, 2 years champion in a row. Congratulations, Musk. So yeah, and if you're wondering what kind of website we're looking at, this is called livecode.demozoo.org. It was an effort that was created during the pandemic years, to archive all the different stuff that was happening throughout all the live coding things that happened in the demo scene, because they were kind of getting lost. You can see like a lot of these old editions of Revision, they don't have any, like the source code is not available. The videos are luckily still available. We managed to recreate the setups based out of that and knowing which person were commentating and see the shader that they did, but the source code for the shaders themselves are not available anymore. You can see Control Tab. You can see here the results for this year in particular. VC lost against Archie. Archie went up against Blueberry in the semifinals. LJ won over Kabuto. Musk won over Mado. LJ had his it's not a comeback. It's a rematch against Musk. He managed to win, and then he won against Archie. So LJ became the champion on the next year in 2016. I think we're at 2016. So 2 times Musk won, then LJ won, and then we're up to 2017. Also no source code available for most of these. Some people upload their reviews to ShaderToy, which is really cool, but a lot of people back then did not care about this. It's more seen as a side event than actually a main competition. For many years there weren't even any prizes associated with the Shader Showdown. There were not even trophies. Trophies came at a later stage, not these first years. So even there are even some years where it's completely missing from the results file. Like this year in particular, 2017, if you go through all of the results file, there is no mention of the Shader Showdown anywhere. Like no mention whatsoever. So we had to recreate everything from the videos and recreate the setup. And so we know that in 2017 LJ won again, this time versus Coupe, from watching the videos that luckily were still archived at youtube.com, but that we're doing an initiative to try to download everything and put them in a more final position. scene.org, archive.org. So yeah, that's the effort, ongoing effort. Also, parenthesis, if you want to help with Demozoo, with livecode demozoo.org, I was one of the mentors behind the whole idea. Then Rashi redid the visuals, the code itself of the site. Yogi helped with some design stuff as well, and Totetmat has been leading the project for quite a long time now, making sure that we are listing everything that we can probably list. There are still a lot of stuff missing, like we could be recreating these shaders based out of the screen images. We could be automating some stuff. We could be increasing the usability of this, which looks a bit weird when I have this lower resolution. A lot of small things that could be improved, and it's mostly because Totetmat doesn't have time to do it, and I'm a bit out of the project myself because I'm busy with videos and stuff. So if you're interested in helping the community on that, let us know. Send us an email or get in touch, and we'll gladly do stuff. Also, as not outreaching, but how do you say it? Evangelize party organizers to make sure that they archive things properly. You know, that they include the shaders on their releases, on their scene.org uploads, that they include it on the results file, so these things can become, you know, a part of the demoscene digital history, and not just, you know, things that happened and no one will remember about in a couple of years from now. Anyways, moving on to 2018, another year that they didn't have the shaders available. We had to reconstruct things from the videos. We do have the results though, which is here. So this was the year that Philippine showed up, and she made quite an entrance for herself. She won over Ken, she won over Coop, which was one of the previous finalists of the previous year. On the other side, Fizzer won over Musk, the 2 times champion. Faris lost against Provod. Provod beat Fizzer, and Provod went all the way, and Provod won again. So the original weekend champion came back again to reclaim his throne, this time at Revision, and beat Flopin to conquer the podium. Let's go back here. I think this next year has... No, it doesn't. I thought it had screenshots now, but apparently not. So this was this year, and this was the other year, which I don't remember, and is 2019. So in 2019, We had some extra eliminatories because there were a lot of people participating. And I think this year, 2018 and 2019, were really the highlights of Shader Showdown in terms of popularity. There were a lot of smaller demo parties which started having Shader Showdowns at their events in 2018, and you see that spike there in terms of participation. There was also the concept of having like every single demo party will have this own small event, and then the champion will be brought on to Revision to compete in this, Masters of Masters sort of event. There were also some qualification rounds that were sometimes done at Revision itself, preparing or qualifying people for the next year, and I think this happened in 2019 as well. And you can see here the brackets for this. So Nobi participated this year, but got eliminated by Flopin. LSD Live, also from France, also participated. YX, new demoscener from the UK that became famous for her executable graphics things, also participated live coding this year. She also did a lot of live coding on Twitch for quite a while, and popularized the the live coding, shader coding live stream format for a little while. I learned a lot on their website, on their Twitch stream. Evil beat LJ, Evil beat Hardy, Evil beat Nusen. Oh no, actually Nusen beat Evil at the end. So the final was Flopin versus Nusen, and Nusen won that one. So Flopin again, almost there, but losing at the finals, this time losing against Nusen. So congratulations, Nusen, for this year. So this was 2019, and I think I have a few other things to talk about here. There were a few things that happened in 2019. There was a shader coding seminar that Flopin did with Evil, which was very interesting, and you should definitely watch this video, which teaches the basics of live shader coding, the whole concept behind ray tracing / ray marching, and how you do it with sign distance functions and all that stuff. Very good video, very good intro into live shader coding. The Shader Showdown that we already talked about. I think there are some qualifiers also added here at the end. You can see here the qualification matches for the next year already, where Ferris was qualified and Fizzer was qualified. And then the pandemic showed up and ruined everyone's plans. There was also some show matches taking advantage of some dead space that was in the party. Some dead time, I should say. And yeah, so that was it for 2019. Then 2020, the pandemic hit, so things changed to the online version. There was a networked version created. There was this specific jam session that was created between the champ, Flopin, that had won on this year, spoiler alert, Gargai, the creator of the tool, and IQ, which is a legend in live shader coding. And this was a very cool jam session to see. There were quite a few other. It became normal that we would do this shader jams for whenever there was a DJ performing, so you wouldn't just see the DJ on the decks, but you would also see some visuals of people live coding. And this became quite format. The shader jam became a much more popular format than even the Shader Showdown, because the Shader Showdown is so intensive. You had to be so focused, you can't screw up, you only have 25 minutes. In the Shader Jam, you can bring whatever you already have previously prepared. You don't have to be coming up with the idea completely out of your head, and you have a lot more time to develop the idea throughout the hour. So yeah, let's take a look at results from 2020. 2020 also was not archived, which is really weird because it was online, so we definitely should have managed to save this information. Let's try to find where 2020 is. I think it's this one. Yeah, 2020. So, Monsieur Soleil from France, I think it was his debut at Revision, at least. Writer, also his debut at Revision. Writer 1, Cosa Mentale, also from France, also very promising live shader coder. Ended up being eliminated by Writer. Flopin won against Provod, his rival 2 years ago that beat her on the finals. Won against Evil, which was a very difficult matchup, and then won against Writer as well, so she became the champ in 2020. And now we can go back to 2021 because here we will have some actual screenshots of things. So quarterfinals 2021, we had another 8 participants happening. Anticor from Portugal, Lechuga Feliz from Chile. So it was the cool thing about having online edition is that you could really open up to anyone participating from any corner of the world, and that really showed up in this edition in particular. Blackle from Canada won against Cosa Mentale. Evil won against Monsieur Soleil. Flopin won against the Writer, a rematch from the previous year. Final, Blackle won against Anticor with this very cool Pac-Man idea remake. Evil did this mind-blowing thing at this time. This was like the reveal of this thing happening that you see right here on this screenshot was the highlight of the party for me. It was such a kick-ass moment. Just watching this video back, it's amazing. Like, he was coding this thing, and everybody was like, why is he taking so long doing thing? It's not really, you know, it doesn't have any colors. And he was secretly adding stuff to do this second morphed version of it, which has this completely almost different look to it, which is completely awesome. He won the semi-final against Flopin, and then he tanked the final, not being able to finish his idea. So Blackle won that one with this cute Easter egg themed shader coding. So congratulations, Blackle, for winning the 2021 edition of Shader Showdown at Revision. We also had a Shader Jam, as usual, quite a few of them. You can see here some participants that decided to quit the format of Shader Showdown because it was too stressful or not as interesting for them, and they participated on Shader Jam sessions instead. And then in 2022, which was just last year, we had again the Shader Showdown. Exka from Finland winning against Soleil, Evil from France winning against Provod, Amazing Goose from the United States winning against Zorg, Blackle from Canada winning against Totetmat, and then the semi-final, Exka won against Emma. Evil beat Blackle that did this very non-typical thing for Shader live coding. And then the final was Exka versus Evil, and Evil won that one. So congratulations, Evil, on becoming the champion of Revision Online Edition. There was also a jam session involved here, which included Exit Data, or a few of them, as usual. Even more than previous year, like. So yeah, these are the things that I wanted to share with you, all the different live coding things that happen at Revision throughout the years. Recap of what is happening this year in particular. We will have the Shader Showdown, that's going to be on a 3-way format instead of 1 versus 1. And I'm looking for more people to participate in that. You must be present physically at the party place. Then we'll have the TIC80 jam session using the TIC80 Fantasy Console, open to anyone but needs to be present at the party location. And then we will have the major Shader Royale VJ thing that will happen for Hoffman's DJ set happening on a Saturday night. And for that one, you can be whatever you want in the world. As long as you're watching the live stream, you can join in remotely using Bonsomatic's version for the Shader Royale. And there's also some good news that I would like to mention before I close up this video. There was this creeping bug on the Shader Royale's launcher version, where after a lot of resizing of the windows, they will start to have some weird texture things, and that bug has been cleaned out. Thank you for people on the Poet thread who helped figure it out, and Totetmat and Nusan who ended up patching it successfully. So we hope to have a more stable version of Bonsomatic now. It's only changing on the render side, so if you're creating shaders, it's the same version as always that you can still use Bonsomatics. But it's cool that you can now use the previous texture frame buffer without worrying about it looking weird after a while of being used. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing your shader at the Shader Royale Jam for Hoffman's thing. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you're excited. about the revision live coding things as I am. I am more stressed about it than excited at this point, because I've been organizing all these people who will participate and who is helping commentate, and all the organization at the party place. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Hope you'll be interested in it as well. Yeah, that's it for this video. See you next time. Bye bye, everybody. Take care.